can be a controversial topic. You have actually done the homework on the legislation.
A little bit, yeah. So, the gist of it is, any citizen's free to record any public meeting. Absolutely, that's just part of what New Hampshire does. Where it gets a little tricky is if Joel and Rock and I decide that we want to record the meetings, and once we do it with public equipment and things like that, then it can be construed as a record. And that record must be maintained in accordance to RSA 91A and all the other rules and laws that cover, I'm trying to think of, how long we have to keep records, records retention programs and stuff like that. So even if it were, we recorded a meeting, yet Kelly or Linda took minutes, that recording could still have to be stored for a long time. And we're talking about, digital recording, modern digital recording, very high def and things like that. Those become very sizable. So most don't. Mr. Gordon was interested in doing this, and fundamentally, I have no issue with it. I'm absolutely open to any debate on that. I think it's a good idea for people who've missed a meeting to be able to see what went on. But I don't want it to be something that we are doing and falling under all the records retention rules and associated costs. So I think it's great when citizens step up and have a solution like this. That's what I got.
Okay. So, Michael, what are you doing? Are you broadcasting this, recording it, or both?
All the above.
Excellent.
You can do a live feed, and I can also capture it so that I can re-upload it to YouTube.
And what are your interests in this regard? How much of that are you willing to take on?
As often as I can be here. I mean, in essence, it really only takes me time to set up the camera, and if I have to leave, I can come back afterwards.
So as of now, our immortal words are shooting out on the internet.
Right.
And they may or may not be available for later recovery, depending on your personal workload and your interest.
But this system makes it simple, so getting it up to the YouTube should be pretty easy.
Is it streaming or is it being recorded?
It's doing both.
Okay.
So if a fellow wanted to watch the drama that unfolds here, where would she go?
I can provide a link, but it's a YouTube channel I created. It's the same place where the wireless pool meetings and the budget hearing and a few others made their way to.
Okay. Well, I look forward to seeing how much weight I've lost since the last deliberative session. I have no objection, and what little I've studied about it through legal affairs is it doesn't matter whether I have an objection or not. This is clearly a public activity sanctioned by the Constitution, even though the guys and gals who wrote the Constitution had no idea what the technology would be. I think Chris is right. I don't wish to take on yet another administrative burden or expense or hand one to the staff. I know we've had a similar conversation when we talked about body cameras for the police department, and the real burden and expense there is not the camera, and it's not the film, and it's not the batteries, it's hanging onto the data in a way that's responsible and grown up and publicly accessible and permanent. The minutes don't expire. And the interpretation I got from legal affairs was if the selectmen elect to digitally or video record their meetings, though that file needs to be publicly accessible forever. And that's just not an expense I'm interested in taking on unless there's a demand for it. Yes, ma'am.
What happens if a resident comes and speaks and does not want to be recorded?
That's a question I hadn't anticipated.
I don't have a good answer for you. I would recommend that they sit somewhere where they're not in view of the camera.
But what if they want to speak? And so just their voice would come then?
Well, I don't think we know the answer to that, but I know.
That's a good question.
I know that we can find out the answer to that through legal affairs, and I'll make that my responsibility.
Should we find that out before we go ahead
I cannot forbid someone to record this meeting right now. Any civilian, we could agree amongst ourselves, the selectmen would not record this meeting. But I can't tell Michael yes or no, or maybe next time. He's on his own, as you would be.
Do you have a presumption of privacy coming to a public meeting?
I don't think you should, but I don't think that's as black and white as some people think it is. It's a brave new world, isn't it? Other discussion on this topic?
Well, there is one other aspect of this, and we've talked with Michael about this, is sometimes after these meetings, we go into executive session where we discuss things that have to do with personnel issues or reputation or matters legal and financial and things like that we have to take minutes of and things like that. But we want to be able to yank out a power cord and make sure that we're not recording those too. So, if you weren't here.
Well, my promise to you is that I will try to get an answer back for next week's meeting from legal about privacy. It's a great question.
Yeah, I'm just curious, that's all. I mean, I don't have an issue with it, but some people might.
I'm sure there'll come a time when someone...
Everybody must be on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll come a time when someone is outraged to find themselves on YouTube speaking in a public meeting. And I'd rather head that off with a little transparency on the front end. I suspect Karin's right, that the answer will come back that none of us have any expectation of privacy in a public meeting, a posted public meeting. This is different than the potato chip aisle at the store or checking out books at the library. I learned Saturday, by the way, at the library that we do not keep records of who takes out what. Period. The American Library Association got all wound up about the NSA apparently and sent around a memo and said, you don't have to keep records. And we don't think you should. So I tried to get that lady to tell me, have I read this before? And she wouldn't or couldn't. So anyway, we did the minutes, we did the broadcast. Internet at the library is simply an ongoing discussion. It has everything to do with privacy. I'm going to invite you to come to the last Saturday of the month. We have a little informal coffee meeting that everybody can come to. I usually publicize it on Facebook the Thursday or Friday before. We smuggle in some cinnamon buns from the hotel bakery. I'm not quite sure where they come from, but they taste really good. And last month we had a really excellent and wide-ranging discussion about gun control.
At the library?
At the library on Saturday, last Saturday of the month. Public, wide open, not by invitation only, sometimes refreshments for sale.
What time?
9 to 11.
Bring your own coffee.
Got to bring your own coffee, though. We don't think the library's electrical system would support a cappuccino machine. So we're going to talk about that. We have a constituent who thinks that the library should be part of a much larger network of computers around the world. And we have at least one library trustee who thinks that's the craziest thing he's ever heard. So we're going to talk about it. We're not going to make public policy. We're going to talk about public policy. See where we are. Chris is especially well configured to talk about stuff like this, as is Reese Atchison. Food shelf. I'm sorry, is there a discussion about that?
What's the goal? Is the goal to...
The goal is to have a discussion, the coffee, and the cinnamon bun.
Is there no internet access at the library today?
No, there is now.
There is. Okay.
Is it enough? Is it the right kind? Should we be doing more?
Great, thank you.
I don't think it'll prove to be controversial. It might even be boring. But the coffee and the company and cinnamon buns will be excellent. Food shelf, I talked to Bud Ross, who's a selectman in Langdon. They have got their ducks in a row as of yesterday. They've given us dates and in most cases times for 3 select meetings around the district. I'm going to go. I will communicate the dates to you guys. Mary Lou's going to go or send a board member. What we're talking about is the future of the food shelf because that building has another tenant, turns out. I just learned the school district is moving their offices from Charlestown in that dump that they've been in to the Baker building, which I think is terrific for everyone. I think it's good for Langdon. I think it's good for the school district because it's so central. I I think it's good for the employees, because it's actually kind of nice. It's not like working in a shipping container. So, if any of you have any interest in attending those meetings, just reach out to me or Linda. I'll try to get her those dates and times as well. Our intention is to go with the Langdon Selectmen to a public meeting of the select boards in adjoining towns and say, we need your help finding a new home for this outfit. Simple as that. Wireless pool update, always the highlight.
Well, it looks like we're gonna get Comcast, hooked up on the 10th, and the showers, people should be in to start working on the showers, getting us the hot water tank in the men's shower, and actually putting in the 2 showers in the women's area. It doesn't have any. And the playground equipment is arriving at Millet Green September 1st, on an 18, is it called an 18-wheeler? Okay, tractor trailer. The only problem is they can't take that up through Wally's to load off the equipment, so we're gonna have to find a truck and trailer, a smaller one, and they have a Bobcat, and they'll load it on that. It may take a couple trips, and we'll be going up through there and down.
And this is cool with Wally?
Well, Steve's supposed to talk, Steve isn't there, Steve's
We
supposed to
talked
talk to
about that
Wally.
padlock too.
Well, you know, it's pretty evident, if you look at the sign that she posted up there, like I said to Steve, didn't you notice the sign? That's her sign. He says, yeah, I did notice that. I said, well then, maybe you shouldn't have put a padlock on the gate.
I need you guys to be really respectful of your neighbors, because it has not
Yes.
always worked as well as it's working right now.
Yes,
And
no.
I don't want to have to drag that playground equipment up 12A and 123A,
Well, we
because
don't
we
either.
managed to jerk that one around one time too many. So
Right.
that's my little caution about that. The Kingsbury guy keeps the horses up here. What's his, Phil?
Phil,
Yeah. I think the committee would find it fruitful to approach him and ask him if he wouldn't like to haul some equipment up, either with his truck, but more romantically with his horses and his trailer. It could be a parade, we could have kids, it could be awesome.
That really would be nice.
Just
What's his
a
name? What's Phil? Is it
Phil Warren.
Warren?
Good guy, by any measure. And beautiful horses. And he has a long history of contributing those horses to town events, years and years and years. So I think it could be easily accomplished, and, you know, then you call a Sentinel and the Eagle Times, and it could just turn into a real publicity opportunity for the pool. And it wouldn't cost anybody anything. Padlock